Meera found a new apartment. It was in Pune. The city was busy, full of life. Her apartment was in an old building. It had character, she thought. The rent was cheap. That was good. She was excited to start fresh, to make this place her own. She unpacked her boxes slowly. Each item found a new spot, a new beginning. She smiled. This would be her sanctuary, a place of peace. The living room was small, but it was cozy. It had a large window. Sunlight streamed in. That made Meera happy. The kitchen was tiny, just enough space for one person. She didn't mind. She wasn't a big cook anyway. The bedroom was okay. A bed, a wardrobe, simple. But the bathroom felt different. It was always a bit colder there, even when the sun was shining outside. The bathroom had an old mirror. It was large and very ornate. Its frame was dark metal, carved with strange flowers. Meera didn't love it. It looked a bit spooky, but it was fixed to the wall, very firmly fixed. She couldn't remove it easily. So she decided to ignore it, to live with it. Maybe it would grow on her, or maybe she would just avoid looking too closely. It cast strange shadows sometimes. The building itself was quiet, too quiet sometimes. Her neighbors were rarely seen or heard. Meera liked her privacy, but this felt a bit lonely. The air in the hallways was often musty, like old secrets were trapped there. She tried to fill her apartment with light, with plants, with music. She wanted to chase away any gloom. She was determined to be happy here. This was her new start after all. The first time it happened was a Tuesday. Meera had a long day at work. She needed a hot shower to relax, to wash away the stress. She turned the tap. The water gushed out, hot and steamy. The bathroom quickly filled with mist. The mirror became completely fogged. She couldn't see her reflection, just a white, cloudy surface. It was normal. It happened all the time. She finished her shower. She felt much better. The warm water was soothing. She wrapped herself in a towel. She reached out to wipe the mirror, just a small patch so she could see her face. As her hand moved across the cool glass, the steam swirled. And for a second, just a tiny second, she saw something. Something else. Not her reflection, but a shape, a dark shape behind the clearing steam. It was gone in an instant, vanished like a trick of the light or her tired eyes playing games. Meera blinked. She wiped a larger area. Now she saw only herself. Her own familiar face, wet hair, drops of water on her skin. She told herself it was nothing, absolutely nothing, just her imagination working overtime. She was tired, that was all. It had to be. She was new here, maybe a little stressed. But a small shiver went down her spine. It wasn't a cold shiver, it was a different kind. A shiver of unease. She quickly dried herself. She hurried out of the bathroom. She didn't look back at the mirror. She told herself not to be silly. Ghosts in mirrors? That was stuff from movies, not real life, not her life. She tried to forget about it, but the image, faint as it was, lingered. A few days later, Meera took another hot shower. The bathroom filled with steam again. The mirror clouded over. She tried not to think about last time. She focused on washing her hair, on the feeling of the warm water. She hummed a little tune, trying to stay calm, trying to act normal. But a part of her was waiting, watching, wondering if it would happen again. She was a little scared. When she finished, she hesitated. Did she want to wipe the mirror? Maybe not. Maybe she could just skip it. But she needed to see. She needed to know. Or maybe she needed to prove herself wrong, to prove it was just her mind. So she took a deep breath. She reached out. Her hand trembled slightly. She wiped a circle in the steam. And there it was again, clearer this time. Definitely not her imagination. It was a face, a pale face with dark, empty eyes staring right at her. It was not her face. It was someone else, someone in her mirror. The face was still, unmoving, but the eyes seemed to follow her. Meera gasped. She stumbled back. Her heart pounded in her chest like a drum, loud, fast. She felt cold, so cold, even in the steamy bathroom. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't scream. She just stared, frozen. The face in the mirror stared back. It looked sad and lost, but also unsettling, deeply unsettling. Then as quickly as it appeared, it began to fade. The steam on the mirror swirled. The image dissolved until only her own terrified reflection remained, her own wide eyes, her own pale face. She felt sick. This was not normal. This was not okay. Meera started to dread her showers. The bathroom, once a place of relaxation, became a place of fear. Every time the mirror fogged up, her anxiety spiked. She tried taking quicker showers, cooler showers, hoping to avoid the steam, hoping to avoid the face. But it didn't always work. Sometimes, even a little bit of steam was enough. Enough for the other face to appear, watching her. The sightings became more frequent, more vivid. The pale face in the mirror seemed to linger longer each time. Its dark eyes seemed to hold a silent question or a warning. Meera didn't know which. She only knew it terrified her. She started avoiding the bathroom mirror altogether. She would get dressed in her bedroom. She would do her hair using a small hand mirror, anything to avoid that large, ornate glass. Sleep became difficult. Every shadow in her room looked like the ghost. Every creak of the old building made her jump. She felt constantly on edge. Her friends noticed she was tired, that she was jumpy. She tried to act normal, but the fear was a heavy weight. It was always there in the back of her mind. She thought about moving, but she had just moved in. It felt too soon, too drastic. Maybe it would stop. She started to question her own sanity. Was she going crazy? Was she imagining all of this? No one else saw it. It only appeared to her when she was alone, when the mirror was fogged. It was her secret terror. She felt so isolated, so scared. The apartment, her new sanctuary, now felt like a trap, and the mirror was its cold, watchful eye. She didn't know what to do or who to turn to. Meera couldn't keep it inside anymore. The fear was eating her alive. She decided to tell her best friend, Riya. Riya was practical, level-headed. Maybe Riya could help, or at least tell her she wasn't crazy. They met for coffee. Meera was nervous. Her hands shook as she held her cup. She didn't know how to start, how to explain something so unbelievable. Riya, Meera began, her voice trembling. Something strange is happening in my apartment. Riya listened patiently. Meera told her everything. About the mirror, the steam, the pale face with dark eyes. She described the growing fear, the sleepless nights. Riya's expression changed from concern to skepticism. A ghost, Meera? In your mirror? Riya asked gently. She didn't sound convinced. She sounded worried about Meera. Meera insisted it was real. I know it sounds crazy, Riya, but I see it. It's there. Riya tried to offer logical explanations. Maybe it's the lighting, or a reflection from outside, or stress? Meera shook her head. No, it's a face, a different face. She pleaded with Riya to believe her, to help her. Please, Riya, you have to come see. You have to help me figure this out. She felt desperate. Riya sighed. She cared about Meera. She could see how upset her friend was, even if she didn't believe in ghosts. She couldn't ignore Meera's distress. Okay, Meera, Riya said finally. Okay, I'll come over. We'll check it out together. We'll run a hot shower. We'll see what happens. Maybe there's a simple explanation. We'll find it. Meera felt a small wave of relief. She wasn't alone anymore. Someone was going to help. Riya came over that evening. She brought a flashlight and an open mind, or so she claimed. Meera was still nervous. What if the ghost didn't appear? Riya would think she was truly losing her mind. They went into the bathroom. Meera pointed at the old ornate mirror. That's it, she whispered. Riya examined it. It's just a mirror, Meera, she said, trying to sound reassuring. But even she felt a slight chill in the room. Meera turned on the hot shower. The bathroom began to fill with steam, just like all the other times. Riya stood beside her, watching the mirror intently. Meera held her breath. The mirror fogged over completely. Okay, Riya said. Now what? Meera took a shaky hand. She wiped a section of the mirror. At first, nothing. Just their own reflections, faint in the cleared patch. Riya looked at Meera, a questioning look. Then it happened. The pale face flickered into view. Sharper, more defined than ever before. Its dark eyes stared out. Not just at Meera, but at Riya too. Riya gasped. Her eyes widened in disbelief, then in terror. Oh my God, Riya whispered. What is that? The face in the mirror didn't move. It just watched them. A cold, sorrowful gaze. There was no denying it now. It was real. Utterly, terrifyingly real. Suddenly, the lights in the bathroom flickered. Once, twice, then went out. Pitch black. Only the faint glow from the hallway. The face in the mirror seemed to glow faintly in the dark. Riya screamed. Meera grabbed her arm. They scrambled out of the bathroom, slamming the door shut behind them. They stood in the hallway, panting, hearts racing. Riya was shaking. "You were right," she said, her voice trembling. "You were so right." The mirror held a cold, undeniable truth. The next morning, Meera and Riya went to see the landlord. Mr. Sharma was an old man. He seemed kind, but he had a tired look in his eyes. Meera was determined to get answers. She told him about the face in the mirror, about the flickering lights. Riya supported her story. She described what she had seen. Mr. Sharma listened quietly. He didn't seem surprised, which was even more unsettling. His silence was heavy. When they finished, Mr. Sharma sighed deeply. He looked down at his hands. "I was afraid of this," he said softly. "I hoped it wouldn't happen again." He explained that Meera wasn't the first tenant to complain, to see things, especially in that bathroom. He had tried to dismiss it before. But now, with two people seeing it, he couldn't ignore it. He looked very grave. He seemed to carry a heavy burden. "There was a girl," Mr. Sharma began, his voice low. "A young woman, about your age, Meera. Her name was Anjali." He told them Anjali had lived in the apartment years ago. She was a quiet girl, kept to herself mostly. "She died in the apartment," he said, "in the bathroom." Meera felt a cold dread creep over her. "How?" she whispered. Mr. Sharma hesitated. "It was very tragic. They said she took her own life. She was found there." He explained that Anjali had been very unhappy, very lonely. Some said she used to spend hours staring into that mirror, as if searching for something or someone. After her death, strange things started happening. Tenants would report seeing a sad girl in the mirror, always after a hot shower when the steam was thick. "I think," Mr. Sharma said, his voice barely a whisper, "I think it's Anjali, her spirit, trapped in that mirror, or in this apartment." Meera felt sick, trapped, just like Anjali. Meera couldn't stay in that apartment any longer, not a single night more. The landlord's story confirmed her worst fears. The face in the mirror was Anjali, a lost, tragic soul. Meera packed her bags in a frenzy. Riya helped her. They didn't talk much. The fear was too thick in the air. Every glance at the bathroom door sent shivers down their spines. Meera didn't even want to take her belongings from the bathroom, but she had to. She moved into a new place, a modern apartment, bright, airy, with no old ornate mirrors. She felt a huge sense of relief. Finally, she could breathe again. She thought the nightmare was over. For the first few weeks, everything was fine. Normal. She started to relax, to sleep better. She even started to enjoy hot showers again without the constant dread. She believed she was safe, free from Anjali's sad gaze. But then it started again, slowly, subtly. One evening, she was washing her face. She glanced up at her new clean mirror. For a split second, she saw it. A flicker. A pale face, dark eyes, behind her own reflection. Her heart stopped. No, it couldn't be. Not here. Not in this new place. She told herself it was just stress. Lingering trauma from the old apartment. Her mind playing tricks. But it happened again. And again. Not just in the bathroom mirror. Sometimes she would catch a glimpse of Anjali's face in a shop window, in the reflection of her phone screen, in a still puddle of water on the street. The ghost was not tied to the old apartment, or its cursed mirror. It was tied to something else, something much more terrifying. It was tied to her. Meera felt a new kind of despair. There was no escape. The appearances became more frequent, more insistent. Anjali's face was no longer just sad. It looked knowing, as if it wanted something from Meera. Meera felt like she was being haunted from within. She was terrified to look at any reflective surface. Her own face in the mirror started to look alien, distorted by the constant fear and the ghostly overlay of Anjali. She was losing herself. She felt so alone. One day, Meera was looking through old family albums, trying to distract herself, trying to find some comfort in the past. She stumbled upon a photograph she had never seen before. It was her mother, pregnant, heavily pregnant, and written on the back, in her mother's handwriting. Meera, and the second name was smudged, unreadable. A strange feeling washed over Meera, a cold, dawning realization. She had to ask. She called her mother. Her voice shook as she asked the question. "Mom, was I supposed to have a twin?" There was a long silence on the other end of the line. Then, her mother's broken sob. "Yes, Meera," her mother whispered. "You had a sister, a twin sister. She didn't make it. She died at birth. We never told you. We didn't want to cause you pain. Her name was Amara. Meera dropped the phone. Amara, not Anjali. The ghost wasn't a stranger. It was her twin. Her lost half, always with her, unseen, unacknowledged, until now. The mirror hadn't been a window to a random spirit. It was a window to a part of herself, a part that had been with her all along. Amara wasn't haunting her to scare her. She was trying to be seen, to be known. The face in the mirror was family. And now Meera understood. She would never be alone again. But it was a chilling comfort, a bond beyond life, reflected in every piece of glass.